Hello, hello, everybody. Haven't done a live stream in a long time. And before the assassination attempt. So it's time. We're overdue. And I'm going to try something interesting. Someone suggested once about coloring and to do something in black and white and then color and using the colorizer to color it. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't recommend it, but it can be done, I think. I'm going to find out. So I got to draw something here. I think just a simple kind of 3/4 view portrait. I'll try to make something interesting at this one. Time for some happy little colorizing. Hey, hello, Frog Tony. I haven't talked to you in a while. I haven't talked to many people in a while. It just seems like I got so busy with life. There's, weddings and funerals and pregnancies and all kinds of things happening. Not me. I'm not pregnant. But you know, I know people who are, and all kinds of parties that entails. Okay. Oh, let me see. I gotta tell people how to draw. Let's see. Draw an egg. Draw an egg. That's a good start. Draw your the muscles. The best way to define the body. You know, you put another sort of round circle down here. But why do you find the muscles? Well, you just bring this neck down here and let it fall like that, almost like a halter top. And you connect a couple things in there, neck muscles, and then you add your shoulder muscles. You know, put them a little bit of an angle, give them some energy. Whenever you put a figure on an angle, twist, you're adding energy. Okay, this is going to be kind of fun one because I am going to paint this more than than draw it. A full scale black and white illustration, and then see what happens when I color it. Now the tricky thing about coloring doing it in black and white first and then colorizing it is you need to think in what do those, I got to think ahead, what are the colors going to be, and then I got to think in grayscale, like what gray value will that be? Because if I leave it white and I try to color it, it'll just be white. So I got to think ahead. Everything has to have a value. So it'll probably appear to be more grayish. It would have to be. Yeah, this is what I you know, I can do it this way, I think, if you know what you're doing, and I kind of do. But let's see. I want to give this guy some character. I was thinking of doing like a pirate. A little more of a fat guy, maybe. Yeah, so when you're painting rather than drawing, you can be much softer in your approach. Now I'm gonna go in here with some grays. I should really do what I should really do is put a palette up here, so I have to keep running over to that. Make it black, a little bit lighter, 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 and then almost white. There, that'll work. Now I can use my option tool, push on it. I'm on a Mac, and then I can just go right here and work it like that. Oh, I gotta switch it back to the soft brush here. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Pastmaster, how you doing, man? Let's see. Traps, lats, delts, pecs, serratus. Serratus is that's the neck muscle, right? I think. I should know these things, right? All right. You guys all see Shane Davis's launch, Glorious Rex 2 or 3. It looks good. I read the first two, and they're really good. Yeah, I'm so glad to see that success. That's what the professionals need our support. They are really, they're really coming through for us. I have an article coming out with in Bleeding Fool very soon. It's called "What is Comicsgate?" and I think it's a very interesting article. I hope it gets some attention because I've noticed lately there's a movement to move Comicsgate away from, and it's been this way for a while, but move it away from a consumer movement into a amateur art movement, which it is not, because if it's for this consumer, then you want the best possible artist in the world producing the best possible comics in the world for the consumer. And that's how we got to get people who can compete with Marvel and DC. So look at your artwork and let's get your art. This is what I'm here for. This is what this the purpose of this channel is. Try to get people up to a level that they can compete with Marvel and DC quality comics. Because you can't, it doesn't help the consumer if you're not as good as the Marvel and DC comic, the professionals out there. We got to compete with anime. We got to compete with Marvel Comics and any other competitor, any other publisher. So how do we get there? Well, you got to start with the basics. Learn how to draw. Learn how to paint. Learn your perspective. And that's how you support it. Get good. But if you're not good enough, then support the people who can do it. Always do the best comics you can find out there. Always look for quality, the best quality. We're not doing a charity. We're doing this as professional people who love the comics, people who devote themselves to the comic book industry. That's what we need working in Comicsgate. And we need to incentivize too, to bring people more talent. We need more guys who may be on the fence. They don't know, they want to go because independent, because that can be controversial. We got to convince them that it's worth it. It's worth to take the risk, so we get the best comic artists out here. So we got to throw money at them. They need money. They're professionals. This is what they do for a living. Can't work for free. See, with the teeth here, I can't make it white. I want to make it white to pop it, but because I'm doing grayscale, I gotta be careful. And I keep it gray, because then I can't colorize it. Only where I think it might be almost white do I put a white in. Let's see what the chat says. Yeah, art boot camp's in order. I'm gonna whip these kids into shape, man. Let's go. 20 push-ups. Give me 20 drawings right now. Yeah, CG does open the door for ordinary people, but you have to be skilled. You know, you have to be able to produce great comics. But you'd be surprised how many people are willing to help. You know, like for me, someone said, "Hey Dan, you should put these tutorials on Skillshare. You can make some money." I said, "No, I don't want to. I want to, because I know what it's like to be an artist. I know how hard it is to, you know, art school and all that stuff. And I want these got to be free, because artists are poor. Most artists are poor, and that's why I left the industry, because I didn't want to be poor. I couldn't, you know, I needed money. Went into advertising. So I know what it's like. I've been there, and it's no fun. So I can't teach you how to do great comics necessarily, but I can teach you the basics, which is the foundation for doing great comics. Let me get a nice tone here. I'm going to actually hit this with some very flat tones, because when I colorize it, it's going to need to, you can't have any white below it. Otherwise, it will not turn out colored. Okay, I think I'm going to put a shirt on him. I'm going to put a, you know, John Malin says you put a shirt on somebody, they get more sophisticated. So let's see how this works. Okay, let's see. We've got the. You should probably have one of those hairy chests, you know. Well, it's getting time to do the flip. Always flip your art, find out how it looks. Let's see if I'm on the right track. All right, flipper, we go to our image and flip horizontal. Okay. That's always the response you want. It's funny how you can't see things until you flip it. It's weird. But good old Photoshop shows it how to, or it gives you that advantage of working on the flipped side image. All right, just to make sure this thing is really coming through, I'm going to go underneath it, put a layer underneath it, and I'm going to go in with black, real thick, dark black, you know, get rid of the soft edge, and get on here. Make sure there's no grays. Wait a minute, I want this in black here. So I'm going to go underneath the whole thing in blanco. Little Spanish lingo there, as Rush Limbaugh would say. Get rid of this for a second. color this all solid. All right, now that this is solid, I'm going to put this back on. I'm going to change this. I'm going to turn that black into white, and I'm going to combine these two layers. Now I know I have a solid grayscale piece here. So this cap is going to be red. And red is fairly dark on the grayscale. So I have to go pretty dark. Again, I'm thinking ahead. I'm trying to I think it's about that level, you know, something like that. And I think I'm going to put some polka dots on it. It's not really a very tough guy, but pirates are a little weird, aren't they, anyways? Okay, that looks good. Really want to whiten up because it's going to be, you know, the white is going to be pretty white, not perfectly white. Nice big thick mustache. Now, when I'm doing faces, you got to think about reflections, where your light source is coming in. Let's take a closer look here. Maybe I should check my chat first. Draw 1,000 hands. Yes, draw 1,000 hands. But draw them well as well as you can. If you just draw crap, that doesn't work. You got to really try. Missed the spot in the clavicle? I hope it didn't. We'll work on it. Needs a Coke spoon. Jeez. Anatomy is, I should put these on screen here, but then I can't read them. Right. Oh, there it is. Anatomy, simplifying into simple shapes and perspective seem like the key fundamentals for drawing from imagination. Most art schools don't teach that. Yeah, not anymore. Yeah, it's too bad. See, I'm thinking when I'm doing this, what, you know, here's the shape. And I'm thinking about how the roundness of the shape is, and where's the light going to come? How is it going to hit it? How is it going to reflect? I don't want this completely white necessarily. You have the brow, the shade from, shadow from the brow. I want the nose to be a tone. A big one, big nose. Because I want it to be red-ish. It's amazing how dark you kind of got to go with the grayscale. It's so weird. It looks like it's too. Like if I was doing this in black and white, I'd hit this stuff a lot lighter. I'm kind of going for a little more, fatness on this guy. I always draw my characters kind of gnarly and tough and chiseled. I like chiseled characters, but in this case, I wanted to go a little more portly. It's so much more fun to draw men than it is women, frankly, though, because the gnarlies, all the grit and the shapes and women, you have very little to work with, and it can be kind of ugly. In other words, it doesn't be perfect. If you're just a little bit off with a woman, yeah, it doesn't look so good. The results are cool, but tough to get there. It's like with a crinkled face, you have a roadmap. You can measure more. All your lines are like construction lines. And with a woman, it's like you're more floating in space. Eyeballs. One thing to keep about when you're coloring, when you're doing any kind of painting or drawing, is that eyeballs are not white. If you draw them white, they don't look right. I mean, especially your painting. They're a lot darker than you think in the shadow. If they're in shadow, it is, of course. See this, I have a highlight here, but I don't want it white. This is why doing this in black and white is so difficult. The subtleties are so stronger. You guys remember the ads in the comic books? Draw a pirate. They were looking for talented people to, for art school and stuff. And they just gave you a standard pirate, said, go for it. I never did do that. Never did draw a pirate. Till today, right now. I'm doing it right now. See how I do. Maybe I'll get accepted into the art school. Okay, it's his. I gotta add more tone up here. It's too light. It won't work. Because when I put the colors on a face, I like putting all kinds of color on faces too. I don't like, white and black that much. Okay, he's looking kind of fun. I kind of dig this guy. Got a serious mustache. I think it'd be fun to do a pirate book. I can paint water all right, and the ships are magnificent. He probably shouldn't have perfect teeth, should he? Let's give him some. By the way, never draw individual teeth like this unless you want it to look ugly. Like people do that in girls. Like, don't do it if you're drawing a girl. Don't draw it in between the teeth because it looks bad. In this case, I can kind of, I can put some gaps in his teeth. It's funnier. Let's check him in the chat. Check him in the chat. Nose like a grape. Yeah, it is like a grape. Ugly is subjective. No. It's objective. Sort of. In my opinion, it's subjective. In my opinion, it's objective. Which is, like, of course, completely false thing to say. Because opinions are subjective. More teeth here. Oh, Greatafe's here. Hi, Greatafe. How are you doing? Like I said, it's been a while since I've done one of these things. But I got busy. Busy with summer life. Life and death, funerals and weddings. All that crazy stuff. I'm beginning to think I'm more of a painter than a comic artist and a line art creator. And I don't know if it's just because I can do it or what. It seems looser. I'm not sure. Okay, this guy's getting kind of fun. I'm kind of digging him. You can see how gray it is, though. If you were doing this in black and white, if I was doing this in black and white, I mean, I'd be hitting this and going in here with whites and, like that kind of stuff, and shading it down, like that, but leaving some highlight hot spots. But nope, not if you're doing it. Not if you're doing it for color. Got to think of those tone values. Get my grubby beard. Okay, now I start adding some more thickness to the neck here. So I hope past master said I had a missed a spot in the clavicle. So I hope I think I'll get it here as I go over this. Well, I asked earlier if people remember the draw a pirate thing. Who remembers that draw a pirate ad in the comic books? You don't have to be old because you could just have read an old comic book and saw it. You don't have to be an old fart like me, but it helps. Yeah, I am getting older. I had a birthday just recently. I'm 59, getting really close to taking the big high jump over the 60. Although age is a little different than it used to be in a lot of cases. I know people that work in the medical field, and they used to say like, man, when they were starting out, if there was a 90-year-old on the floor, they'd be like, well, we've got a 90-year-old. Oh my gosh, she's so old. And now it's like they're all 90 or there's so many. Now it's like you got a 100-year-old. It's like gone up. People take care of themselves. These people, everyone used to smoke, man, like smoke like chimneys back in 30s, 40s, all that kind of stuff. And now people don't as much. Some people do, but a lot of people take care of themselves. Okay, this is going to be a white. So this is going to be the most difficult, perhaps. I'm thinking of a white shirt, so I got to come as close as I can to the white without making it white. Or I could actually have some white, but I kind of want, because I want it a bit of an off-white. He's a dirty pirate, he's a filthy, smelly guy. So trying to keep it kind of dirty-ish. Past master, 63-year-old teen. Oh, only 4 years older than me. Okay, good. Let me go back. This is the pirate that carries a cannon with him. Yeah, he looks like he's pretty ripped, man. No Malin chest? What kind of a chest does Malin have? Is he hairless, or is he hairy, or what? I've never seen him, but if he's got chest hair, now he's wearing collared shirts. Maybe he'll catch a glimpse. Glenn Vliphu. I'm not sure how to say that name. 88 and still teaching figure drawing. That's good. Yeah, that's the good thing. It's not like like athletics or something. When it comes to art, you don't, it isn't like getting old. But there is. It's funny. There is some vitality that you lose. Some kind of an energy. I think when I was younger, I do kind of remember just being a little more gusto in my art. Now I know more. I'm more knowledgeable, but I'm a better artist in some ways. But it's funny. I look back at some of those old drawings. They're not necessarily drawn right, but man, they're just screaming with youth and energy. And I'm not screaming so much anymore. Kind of aching and pains and no, I feel fine. I'm very grateful. I feel fine. But I can't run like I used to run or do athletics like I used to. Yeah, I played sports in my day. but I wasn't very good. I just like playing sports. I ran track in high school. Could do a 5 minute mile. Today, I could do 5 house lengths. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, art is not good for health, really, actually. Too much sitting. Way too many hours sitting at a table, drawing away. That's why, like, right for now, like, you see me, I'm drawing this. I'll spend, I don't know how many hours I've been at this 40 minutes. By now, I would have gotten up and walked around, paced a little bit. You know, my house, just stretch my legs, maybe do a stretch or something, back stretch. You know, that's so important to watch how long you're sitting at the drawing table. You want to be careful. I've thrown my back out. It's it's funny, it's not activity that throws my back out. It's inactivity. So definitely, get up, move. I say to people, you know what the best exercise in the world is? Exercise you like to do. Because if it's boring, you hate it, you won't do it. You got to find something you like. Ride bike, hike. It's got to be interesting. This isn't too far away from giving it a shot, colorizing it. It's actually hard for me to draw in black and white like this. It's weird. Comicsgate Kings is on tonight, folks. I think it usually is on Monday nights, 8 o'clock, on Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Ethan Van Sciver's fantastic channel. Some of the best comic artists out there in the independent market talk about all kinds of fun stuff in a funny way. They're really funny guys. Hilarity and hijinks. Okay, I'm playing with it. I mean, I'm noodle. You can see how I'll noodle something to death. It's like just play with it and keep working on it. And I really don't need to do that. All right, let me flip and see how I'm doing. I don't think the shirt is too cool. Let's see. I bet it's gonna look like crap when I flip it. It's not that bad. Maybe the shoulders kind of come in here a little down a little bit like that. It kind of evens it out. Can be kind of. I'm trying to give it some texture too. let me give this guy some hair. Hairy chest. Yeah, Malin is a wolf, but we don't know if he's actually hairy. Unless there's a full moon, and then we can find out. All right, I think this is good. Good enough. Good enough to try a colorization. This. I think I wouldn't mind this being a little bit whiter though. Just touch it here. I do want a white shirt. But I want textures in it. I'm thinking thinking of the J.C. Leyendecker, how he might kind of play with stuff. Okay, time for color. I'm going to create another layer here. I'm going to take in the pull down menu to color and see what happens. Actually, I'm going to go take this in front of this layer and right click and do a create clipping mask. You won't see that on your on the computer here because I am only sharing the screen and it's not sharing. Doesn't share all the tools for some reason, unfortunately. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm gonna color this baby. Wait a minute. Color. Oh, there we go. This is gonna be the moment of truth. Let's see how well I guessed my gray values. Not that bad. I want to get a little more red on this. More red, more warm red. Let me look at my chat here. Oh, Creative Faye. You're an old soul, Creative Faye? Is that it? Young person, but past master. The looks I get when I bring up comic books. Yeah. Wait a minute. Why isn't it showing? Oh, do I have to push that plus signal? Oh, there it goes. Boom. Oh, well, appreciate you showing up, Luis. That's very nice of you. Say that. Credit fair. I yell at the damn kids to stay off my lawn. Yeah. I'm not that bad, but I'm a nosy neighbor. Like I'm always looking. What's that? Who's doing that? I think Aaron Lepresti is the best in my book. Yeah, he's a nice person. Heck of a guy, really. Truly. Henry Thune. Why do I know your name? I know that you're familiar to me. This is Pirate's interest. Getting booty. Eating raw garlic and sardines. Beliefs. Doesn't believe in bathing. Yeah. That's so true. So they didn't know about personal hygiene back in the day, you know, in Pirates' day. Is an NHL hockey player named Thune? Okay. Well, that's not it. You might be. Do I know you from the art community of sorts? Let me know, because that may be more likely. Hey, this is working okay. Let's see. See now, coloring. When I'm coloring something, I'm using like a red orange for the flesh tones. Gonna use a little bit of blue in shadows. I'm play with some blue colors. Here when I hit this with blue, the blue mixes. About you got to see my video on understanding color and how it works. You go with a complementary color, and it turns things gray. So I'm watching that. Okay, for this, I'll just use kind of an off. I wanted an off-white. I'll start with a yellow. This is why I don't like actually doing something black and white and then colorizing, because it doesn't really work all that. It's kind of tricky. Okay, I'm gonna add a little more reds here on the cheeks, nose. It's kind of cool though, huh? I think it's kind of interesting. Give me some blues in the shadows. I'm gonna go in here a little bit of blue. Yeah, it's really kind of frustrating to get. I want to paint it and get in there with let the colors blend together and bleed together, but because it's all grayscale, it doesn't quite work. Throwing some pinks in here to get when you put sometimes when you put pink with red, the red seems a little more intense or colorful. It's a good way to shape a color. I can throw in a little bit of green to make things interesting. I'm just playing around. Now I'm doing Bob Ross. Like, oh boy, here we go. Just playing around here with a little bit of color. Been accused by some of being Bob Ross-ish. Bob Ross. Not that that's a bad thing. I like Bob Ross. In coloring, you can color just using red, blue, and green, and red, blue, and yellow. Everything's a combination of those three colors. So yeah, I don't love this necessarily. Too yellow. Let me orange it up a little bit. Yeah, look, I honestly think it looks terrible, but you know, this color stuff. The face worked out well though. The face is cool. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, Henry, I know. Yeah, it almost seems like I've known you for a long time back. Yeah, you're a conservative, aren't you? So you probably ran into the same circles there. Well, Dale says it turned out great. So, whoa, what happened to my stuff here? There it goes. Yeah, the red nose is the Dan Lawlis signature move. But you know, that's kind of, if you look at paintings like Norman Rockwell and all that kind of stuff, they kind of push the color. It's a way of just adding color. But see, this is the problem with colorizing. Now, I would like to go back. Let me see if I can just do this. Maybe this will work, right? See, I want to get this shaded a little bit. I'll use a little bit of gray. Turn that a little bit like that. Okay, that worked. And I want this to be a little bit whiter up here. So I wonder what happens if I... Yeah, it kind of works. Let me get in here and try to add a little bit lighter. And this too. I'm going to smooth this out. Yeah, why does that shirt look so yucky yellow? I'm going to hit it. You know, I'm going to neutralize it with, I said when you add a complementary color. So yellow, I'm going to add an ultramarine blue like this to try to take it down. Add the complement. If you're looking at the color wheel, I'm looking at yellow, and I'll go across and pick the blue, and then I'm going to move it to a lighter because I don't want too intense the blue. Now I just go over that yellow, and it's going to gray down that yellow everywhere, which is what I want to do. I want to get rid of it. Don't like it. But maybe it's going too cool now, so bring it back a little bit. That's more like it. Now it looks like a dirty white shirt more. Is what I kind of wanted. That is not that bad though, is it? Somewhat successful. You never really know if you're going to bomb or make it work. I mean, I kind of know that. I mean, I know what I'm doing, but you never know if it's ever really going to come out. I'm not one of those artists that has a vision and I can see it and like clearly or anything. It's more of in a fog, or just a real general idea. And I kind of like that in a way because it's the part of the discovery process is it's really fun to kind of discover it as you go. So I'm adding a little bit of blues in the shadows, give it a little more artsy fartsy. Which I kind of like. guess that's the advantage of doing something in black and white. Is you can play around with the color only and not worry about how things are hitting you. That's cool. And now I can do fun things. I think like, okay, let's say I want to change this. I'm going to select the bandana, and you're not going to see this, but I'm gonna bring up my hue and saturation, and I'm gonna change the hue of it. Try different colors here. That's a little funky. I'd have to tone that down. I can make it blue, but then I have to really desaturate it like that. That's kind of cool. Purple doesn't work. Unless if I did purple, you gotta really desaturate. That looks terrible. Green's kind of cool. But I think the best is the red. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm just about done. I'm done, son, with this one. You know, it's interesting though. It does give it a little more of a painterly look. If you know, I think that's kind of cool. Let's see what our comments are. Dan the Blush Lawlis. Well, you know, the thing is, you want, in an illustration, you want color variation. You know, that makes it interesting. If I colored it all one color, it just isn't, it's not fun. It's not interesting. It's real. This is comics. You know, this is exaggeration. This is color and illustration. If you look at Rockwell and some of these guys, and I'm doing even more comic-y stuff than they're doing, so I really want to push the color. And but the idea too is it helps mold it, but it keeps it, you know, bright and vibrant. Really makes it pop, which I enjoy quite a bit. Henry Thune, you have a channel. Okay, what's your channel, Henry? Yeah, Henry, I'm asking you this question too. Years ago, before CG, this is before CG. I did a book. It was a really weird book. It was a conservative book, Christian conservative comic book I created. And I think that's where I remember you from, frankly, when I was kind of soliciting that. That was, you know, everyone talks about CG. It's like, there was a before CG, and I was very much a part of that. But the weird thing is, back then, I felt I was all alone. I thought I was like one of the few conservative people, you know, Christian conservatives. And it really stunk. Now it's great, man. There's so many out there, and connecting on YouTube, and, you know, and you find out, you know, no, it's okay to be, you can all, you know, comfort each other, support a group. You know, we're hated, obviously, and but that's the way it goes. Sometimes you gotta stick to your beliefs, and you pay a price. Freedom isn't free, as they say. Oh, what was the book called? Orange Peel 3 was the name of it. So, and it was just digital. I didn't even do it. I didn't even print it or anything like that. And I put it up. I thought, oh, I'm gonna, you know, I'll get all these, you know, Christians supporting me. But the problem was, it was weird. It was a weird story, and so it was too weird for the Christian community. It was sci-fi. It was strange. It had hot rod cars in it and all kinds of weird stuff. But it was, you know, for the non-Christians, they don't like it because it's Christian. So it was just, it didn't find an audience at all. But it was an interesting try. It was really a reaction to being in the business for 10 years and just being so annoyed that you're vilified. And so when I left it, I was just kind of like, I'm going to do what I want now. I wasn't making my living doing it. So I put a lot of stuff in, but also I made mistakes because I think that people don't really want to read political books or Christian books not necessarily. You can put it like Tolkien did into the themes, or C.S. Lewis or something like that. But when you flat out come out with, sort of in your face a little bit, it's not entertaining at all. Some of the political books I've seen, they're just not fun to read. Nobody wants to get preached to. It's what it comes down to. They want escapism. They want an interesting story. So that's kind of my focus now. I just I recognize you can have those values in it, but reflect your values. But you really the story comes first. You want to entertain people first, and that is so important. And that's where that's the CG message now today. It's like just Mike Barron will say, just make it a great story. That's the first step. Tell an entertaining story, and let the chips fall where they may. Your natural ideas will come through. You shouldn't propaganda. That's the problem with Marvel and DC. Everything's propaganda comics, and when you do that, you lose sight of actually just entertaining folks. Oh, I just realized his tongue is not red; it's gray. I missed that. Let's see if I can fix that. There it goes. I can make it a little more of a pink tongue. That's cool. Nah, not pink. All right, that's good. Yeah, Facebook probably, because I really wasn't active on YouTube, Henry. Creative faith. It is a stupid stereotype of artists being liberal, and the sad thing is everyone's afraid to admit. Like it's almost like a secret sign. Like, oh, are you like kind of like me? Are you? And then everyone's like, oh yeah, okay, shh, don't say anything. But the weird thing is that I'm not that political. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm extreme political. I just believe in basic, simple American values. What the heck, But in the arts, simple American values are vilified, unfortunately. So, but that's the great thing about Comicsgate and all this stuff is now we don't have to put up with any publishers. We can go directly to our audience, which is a lot of just ordinary, everyday people out there. Conservative values, they don't want anything crazy. They don't want to be preached to. They just want to have a fun, typical adventure story that that works within their value system, and just have fun, and just have a blast. And that's so great. Now the freedom is just wonderful. And if someone is really ultra liberal, they can do a story. If they can find an audience, go for it. I love freedom. Give me freedom, man. Just I love seeing people be able to do what they really want to do. Let me see if I can get these eyes. They're very blue, and I want the eyes to be blue. I'm going to separate it from the bluish parts. That's kind of wild. Yeah, a little too blue. Okay, see how long I've been going. Oh, an hour. I've been going for an hour. That's good. I'm surprised I was able to do this in an hour. I booked this thing out. Maybe I should do black and white drawings and colorize them. That might be a good thing. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. I can hear the wife in the other room, so I'm going to check in, see what's cooking. I can smell cooking going on there. And we'll see you all next time. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I know I need to do more of this, and leave comments. Do that thing where you click the like button and you leave a comment and let me know. If there's something that, a challenge, you want to challenge me to do something, maybe I can do it. Maybe I can, something that you're having trouble with, working on. I got 37 years of professional experience at your disposal. So take advantage of that. It's a if I can help, it's a lot of fun, really. Okay, guys, thank you, and we will see you all. Bye.